Hey, Will, I'm checking to see if you have everything ready for the celebration.
It's coming.
If you will, go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of give us a little bit of a rundown of yourself, and then I'll kind of go into why you're here.
Um, Carson Walker. Just one of many victims of the accident that happened down on Lisenby Avenue at the PPG paint shop, where the woman was tragically crushed and killed by a truck in front of the paint shop. So a man reversing. And avid member for pedestrian safety now. Avid member for just having a vision for safer streets. So that's how I come about to be here. I've been basically the forefront of using my voice and the voice of others and people that follow this story to advocate for her justice.
I got you, man. So I'm going to give our listeners a little bit of a rundown. On April 3rd, 2025, Donna Santiago, she's a hardworking mother in the community. She was tragically killed on Lisenby Avenue in Panama City. She was walking by the PPG paint shop. She was struck and fatally injured by a vehicle backing up, an incident that has devastated her family and community. Despite the severity of the tragedy, there are a lot of more questions that still kind of remain. So, um, there was no, it sounds like there was no due process on this.
Said it.
So, um, kind of run me through your story on it. Police showed up and did a full report.
Well, when this incident happened, when me and my brothers were actually contacted, it's crazy. We have a member of our family that works at the hospital down at Bay Medical. So and she works close to the trauma unit. So we were advised of what happened to my mother through her because she was just happened to catch whiff of what happened at the hospital because it was such a frantic emergency. It was, a woman just got hit by a huge Ford Excursion, crushed in the front of a paint shop. We're trying to keep her alive, and everybody in the hospital is talking about it. She comes up, finds the name. It's the grandmother of her kids, and she calls us, and we're all losing our mind trying to get to the hospital. So we weren't really ever like addressed by the police except for when we were in the hospital trauma unit with our mother.
I got you. So the incident takes place. Police do the report. They eventually get up with you, kind of talk to you about the situation? Because are you still kind of? I've seen the video footage. I'm gonna play the video footage as we're talking. I'm gonna throw it up in between the screen on your reels and everything. But when this happens, um, like normally something like this would be considered. I mean, it would at least go to the district attorney's office. It would at least there would be a case that would be open. I would think that there would be more of an investigation. Did they do an in-depth investigation on anything?
Honestly, I feel like it was really left open. And I'm not sure how the responders on the scene felt about like my mom. Like is in that area it's kind of like
Explain it.
it's kind of like more of a really really rural, like how would I say it? I want to say it without being.
Low income.
Yeah, it's just a low income
It's a low income
shopping
area.
plaza. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if they even felt like she had family or anything. My mom goes on walks casually. She doesn't bring much with her except for her purse and a clutch, and she loves to shop in those plazas and her favorite nail shop over there, Miss Loans nail shop. One of her favorite places to be. She'll go down there and doll herself up or whatever. So that's what she was on her way to do that day, because her birthday was 10 days away.
Yeah. Just your microphone.
All right, we good?
So she normally walks by that area.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
people are normally seeing her. Was there a toxicology report that was done on the driver of the vehicle?
Never seen a toxicology report. When we got first initiated contact with the police department, the only thing the police officer was telling us was that that this guy was incredibly sorry. That's basically what he told us. Is this guy? He's sorry what happened to our mom, but this guy was incredibly sorry and never released the information of the guy.
So do you know
it
who
took days. Yeah, it took days for us to figure out who this guy was. So, we were hosting a vigil immediately.
I'm just going to interject real quick.
Mhm.
So the family's trying to figure out who it was that killed their mom. Like that's, and I get it. Like accidents happen.
Yeah, they
But
do.
like
Yes, they
my
do.
point on that being is like in something like this, it seems like there would need to be a little bit more done. Like you need to have
Absolutely.
like you need to pull a blood sample. You need to do a breathalyzer. You need to check all this. You just fucking killed somebody.
Yeah, she needed to check his
So-
phone records.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get where you're going with this.
Yeah, man.
It was definitely grounds for suspicion and to believe in was he using all of his, awareness at all times when using this vehicle, as he should be as a driver in Florida. I mean, it's the laws, statutes. So it's definitely grounds for suspicion of what was he doing to not be able to see the pedestrian and in the plaza area that
Well,
he
not
was
just that.
reversing in.
The video shows him run like he backs and then he goes forward.
Yeah, that lurch forward was really what really hurt the most. Just really broke my heart to see that. Again, this is the reason why I advocate for pedestrian safety laws and pedestrian rights and just justice for these type of matters where people's families are taken from them like that, and people are trying to deem these things an accident, and in hopes that they don't have to accept any accountability for their mistakes. And it's not that I don't believe in accidents or that I even believe that this man Joe woke up in the morning just to hurt my mother with his truck. So it's mainly accountability thing and the fact that we're actually getting to see actual corruption. I hate that it has to be over my mother's grave. Like my mother's grave is where we have to see all of this corruption and very versatile use of the law when people with the kind of reach can utilize these measures and show you what they can really do in real life, and then you see it on the camera and you've seen what happened to her. I don't have to tell you. If you were a cop, you would have been locked this man up that day. Like if you were the state attorney, you would have picked this case up. It definitely raises suspicion for scandal and just this man's ability to be protected in a situation like this.
Well, the the strike itself and the death itself may be an accident, but
Yes, sir.
it has to be proven that it is, and there wasn't anything to do that. Like, if you're going to prove that something was an accident, there's things that I talk about. There's things of like, where were you headed so quickly? Try to figure out why, you didn't check all your mirrors, like check what the hell was
Like,
around you.
why?
And then the toxicology report is really big. Like, I just really feel like in something like this, that should have been something that was done.
Or taking the truck, right? I mean, the truck for evidence.
Yeah. So wait. They didn't even take the vehicle for evidence at all, or
This man, Joe Kelly, was able to, within an hour, this investigation was deemed already closed. He was already on his way
within
home
an hour?
in his truck.
And within an hour.
I believe it was within an hour. Maybe it's somewhere too close to an hour. And able to
Jeez.
leave in the same truck that he had just killed my mother with. Now, mind you, the truck. If I don't know if you have a picture of the truck or you can see the truck.
I can get it and I'll throw it up here.
Yeah. I have it on my page. You can see the truck. Tinted windows, tinted headlights, tinted tail lights. Like,
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well, here you go. I got a ticket. I mean, it's been a while now, but I got a ticket for dark tint, for my tent being too dark. So I mean, did they even check his? Did they even check to see if that was even a legal?
if you look in the police report, you can see that they clearly didn't want to write this man an infraction for anything. I'm surprised he even got that. Honestly, how minimally the traffic incident, the citation was written for improper backing.
So
Just think about that, right? Improper backing. That's like that's a mess that some jerk cop that doesn't like you gets you for because they're just trying to get you, right?
yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, you thought you got away. Improper backing. Here you go. Here's your ticket. And you're like, damn, he got me on that.
Yeah.
I did really just improperly back up like a mug. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to take this and wear it. Like, I've never heard about this, like, anybody. This is the first time in history. Got to be the first time in history that a man has got improper backing for manslaughter.
Yeah, and that was the other thing, right? Like, so like accident. Kendall, can you pull up what the statute is for manslaughter just to see what is deemed manslaughter? And let me know what that is, because this, I mean, it should at least been manslaughter. I'm not saying it's got to come out and be like he murdered somebody.
Yeah, because it's
killing
not,
somebody and murdering somebody are
it's
two different things.
things. Manslaughter is a killing.
Yeah, that's killing somebody.
That's a killing. That's not a murder. It doesn't make him a murderer.
Yeah.
I'm not here to just make him a murderer.
Yeah. No.
Or this isn't a homicide, but this is definitely manslaughter.
Yeah.
And definitely Joe Kelly is the first man in history of Florida, Northwest Florida, to ever get a improper backing citation for manslaughter.
Yeah. Well, I keep trying to. It's one of those things where I go through with it in my head, and I sit there and I say, like, if this were to happen to me, would I get a pass?
Oh no! Like, if it were us, we actually got a follower, and a member of family who actually came up with that hashtag. It's hashtag if it were us.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So like, that's,
so this guy, does he have ties? I mean, I don't want to get too much into other people's lives.
Most definitely has to have ties. There's like I don't know. I've honestly never seen like a Bay County department not investigate somebody that's done stuff like this to this type of lowly measure. If that makes sense. Been here a while, watched them, fight case after case, seen them fight crime after crime. And I've never seen nobody do something like this and they respond in these ways.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I got a feedback if I don't take my headphones off. The part you're looking for, Ron, would be the second part, involuntary manslaughter, a neglect or reckless act that leads to another person's death without intent to kill, often applies in traffic-related fatalities, DUI, excessive speeding, or gross negligence.
So why? And I know, man, I'm asking questions that you like are kind of irrelevant because it is what it is, but it's not what it is, so I take that back. Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like, why didn't the state, I just don't understand how this works. Like, and, so is there any type of any way you can go after civilly for this?
Yes. Civilly, we are in court. but for the manslaughter charge, he's not in court for that.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart, man. If you see this video, right? I don't know how good your feed is, but our feed is good. Um, me and my brother Q, we do this stuff. We deal with a lot of feed constantly, and so we take good measures to be able to convert videos and do whatever just do whatever we need to do to make things look clear. And to see how many people witnessed what happened to my mom that never came forward really breaks my heart the most, because there's just so many people that could just help answer these questions for us. And I don't know what happened at that scene, to make people feel like they couldn't come and speak up, or to make that officer not stop those people that were all around him to get information about what they seen, what happened.
So what are you referring to?
There's I'm referring to like what happened, the incident that happened. When it happened, there were people there who seen it.
So how many witnesses did you have?
I mean, just by me looking at the feed, I would say that there's at least 6 to 7 witnesses.
How many witness reports did the officer take down?
There was only one,
Who?
and it was her name is Miss. We gonna call her Miss Mary. Miss Mary came back. She was actually in the car when you're watching the video. She was in the truck that was like almost looked like it was about to get hit by his truck when he was coming out. You know how he's coming out, and then it looks like he's about to hit her truck, but he comes and he hits my mom instead. Type, you know what I'm saying? So she was obviously looking, because obviously she's looking like, where's this dude going if he's backing up? Like, I hope he's not finna back out in the road into me. And then followed him backing up and seen him hit my mother. Just used her eye and followed him. So there's her. She's the only one that actually admitted to witnessing what happened there. And there was a truck there. There was somebody driving a truck there.
They only took one witness report.
One witness report out of the other thing.
But you're saying that when the officer was there were multiple people there that had seen what had happened.
Yeah, there was multiple people coming to the officer and standing around. When the officer came to the scene, there was people there with Joe Kelly and standing over my mom. And for a fact, Mr. Joe Kelly's colleague, the other person at the paint shop, was coming out the door at the very moment that she was being killed, that she was being hit. He's the one who advised him that he had struck her. And this is all in the video that you guys have. And it's just because, like, sometimes the people don't have the right feed to be able to see what's going on in these videos and stuff like that. So I really urge people to really look into the video that was posted by Bay County Bad Drivers.
Yeah, actually, Kendall, do you think you can pull up a video? I do actually want to bring it up.
Because you can see these things.
I got it on my phone. I just got to pull it up on the computer and I'll stream it up.
Thank you. I want you to talk a little bit about the relationship you have with your mom.
So, first of all, like, that's my queen. That's my everything. She's my best friend. She raised me. And it's irreplaceable spirit in my life. Basically guided me all the way to this point.
Did you see her the day that it happened, or when was the last time you had seen her?
The day before. I did not get to see my mother that morning on April 3rd. I seen her on April 2nd.
Well, I'm gonna ask you, man, what was your last conversation with your mom?
Last conversation that I had with my mom, we were just talking about my music. I was working on some music, and she had been coming into some of my sessions and just having like a listening party with her. She always hears my new music, always telling me what songs I should keep, or trash. Just always being involved in what I got going on. And she's my rock. She was everything to me. She always came by and checked on me all the time. And we just had the strongest relationship you could probably have with your son. as a mother.
She was very encouraging of the stuff that you had going on at the time and everything.
Yeah, she always is.
Yeah. Are you an only child? Do you have
No, I have 3 other siblings
how do they
that
feel
have been
about this?
suffering from this incident as well.
Yeah.
They're taking it day by day, but it's destroying them, man. Our mother was everything to us, and we've never been this long without her. If that makes any sense.
Hmm.
So it's just really important to us that my mom finds justice in this matter, and it can be frustrating and it could be hurtful at times. When you're seeing these things like go through these processes, people are chiming in from all different perspectives and situations, and just having to accept the realities of all these different opinions and all these different egos is just a lot.
Have you got any pushback from anybody, like on social media or anything like that? People that
Um,
are
yeah, honestly, since we hosted my mom's vigil, see, the day she first died, we hosted a vigil for 19 days. 19 days where we were there every day, like mostly from sun up to sundown. We got to a point where we kind of like would do rounds and stuff about like how we were up there, and we were basically raising money for her burial and stuff, and just raising awareness and crying out for justice for her situation because we just felt so wrong that she had been done so wrong. And that we couldn't let this dude get away with it and not like honor her spirit at the same time. So we hosted a 19-day vigil on a night in which where we were trespassed during this. So we did it right there where the incident happened. We built a shrine right above my mom, right on top of my mom's blood splatter where she was killed. We covered it with roses and just love, and the community poured so much into her and us as well, and just helped us cry for justice. And we were able to raise the money to be able to bury her and do, to cremate her, get her a plot. She wanted to be cremated, so I wanted to bury her, but we kept her wishes. So got her a plot and everything. It was just in a journey, man. Gotta tell you for real, man. It's just been a journey. Being my mom's voice and crying out for her justice, like it has warranted people like you asked. We've had like the NAACP come, like a member come out there and show some respect, show some love, and we've had other platforms share, share their voices and share their platforms with mom's story and stuff. And it's just
I
been one thing at a time.
do have another question. When you raised your concerns, because I'm sure you raised your concerns with there's a PCPD. When you raised your concerns with them about them not going through all the steps what did they say?
Well, the man Preston Allen is, I guess he was the first one or the second responding officer on the scene that they left it to be closed by or whatever, however it worked. All right, so he came to mom's vigil, and we were just listening to songs and saying stories about it, telling stories about it, just having a remembrance, when he came and pulled up, and he asked us to come down to the station and look over some of the documents and stuff that they had, and so that we could see that that this man was completely innocent and that it was an accident. You know what I'm saying? Um, we if he wouldn't have added those words to it, maybe my brothers would have been open to going and see it. But like those last couple words just threw my brother into a whole stupor. you know, because now it sounds like, oh, let me show you the video so we could show you he's innocent. Like this, he was like, there's no crime happened here, and that just threw my brother off, you know, and that ended up being the reason why we never get to really communicate, because it was like the only person they were sending to communicate was him.
And he was already automatically saying, "Hey, nothing's wrong. No crime's been committed." And it's like, well, nobody said there was a crime that was committed,
Yeah.
but you keep calling it a freaking accident. Then prove that it was an accident.
Yeah, so
But to
it's
quit telling me that there's no foul play, to quit telling me that there's no, I mean, like I said, you don't even know that, man, dude, this guy could have, I mean, I don't know him, so I should probably be careful. But
yeah.
I mean, anything could have happened that morning. I mean, when something like that happens, and I'm not saying that this is him, but I mean, the dude could have just smoked a J. He could have just freaking took a shot of liquor. You don't know, and that's why the cops are there, because they're supposed to investigate it. And if they don't have that evidence for you, but so you didn't go up there to see what evidence they had.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. So yeah, so I never went to see exactly what evidence that they exactly.
So they
had.
might have a toxology. They might have all of that.
What there it could be, it
But
could,
you would be able to see that,
But
wouldn't
see
you?
that I would be able to see that. I should be able to see that, right? In the
In the-
initial,
yeah,
in the
I think so. I mean, I think
initial
so, yeah.
report. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because they didn't even write this up like it was a crime at all. They wrote this up as if somebody had just like got caught peeing on a sidewalk or something. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
or dumping oil out there on the sidewalk. Let's say something better. You know what I'm saying? Just that's
Yeah.
how, you know.
So yeah.
And they completely ignored my mom's blood splatter, which, like, if you know, I took pictures of it. It's horrible. I mean, it was just huge. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen them.
just
yeah,
insane. Like, just looking at what happened to my
I
mom.
do want to watch this video though, real quick. Oh. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Yeah. So all right, hold on. So this was this? So this was in the is this considered the right of way? Was this in the right of way?
Yes, she's in the right.
So it's in the freaking.
Yeah,
it's
she
in
is
the.
in the right of way, y'all.
That is.
My brother standing right here.
Yeah, man.
It was all the way to.
And there's no sidewalk there. Yep. Yeah, so this is in the right of way. She was hit.
This with for a driver. This is the area you. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's obviously he can't not be distracted.
You pull up the video real quick. It's crazy, man. Okay, so this is it. So yeah, that is a question that I have for somebody. Like, if there is the full investigation that was done, all evidence should be out there. Where if it should be in the report, like, hey, a toxology report was done. He came up negative on marijuana, cocaine, alcohol, whatever. Like that should be part. I feel like that should be part of a report where
Absolutely.
you're letting people know, hey, this is the guy is clean. He just wasn't paying. And here, guess what? Not paying attention. Yes,
Does not make it okay.
That does not mean like, well, this was an accident, dude. I'm already gonna tell you. First of all, you're a better man than me, because I'll just leave it there. Because if yeah,
just leave it there.
Yeah,
That's what we're
because-
trying to keep, because honestly, you know, it comes down to, you know, keeping things civil right now, you know, and
yeah,
not trying to feed that, you know what I'm saying? Because vengeance is the Lord's, you know, if they, at the end of the day, if that's where they you know, they want to create the problem is in the law of not giving mom justice, then that's where they're going to be defeated at, ultimately, how I feel about it right now. They got to lose there first, because this is just horrible. Also, you guys see how this is set up right here, right? So the imagery that I was given in the initial report shows that that car right there isn't where it is. Look how fast he's going. So you see that lady right there? She's the lady that was in the car that was like, "Oh, who's this dude about to hit me?"
Oh.
And then he hits my mom. She's the one that comes back. You see this shit? Yeah. She's the one that comes back. I believe she was the one paying attention the most. It was her car. Now, you pay attention, he's getting out of the car. You see that? All right. He was standing right there with in my video, but we got it broke down better. He is in the doorway watching him, lets it and calls out to him, telling him stop. Looks, there's somebody he points. Hey, look, he comes to the trunk. Look, he opens this trunk. See the trunk opening?
Yeah.
I see that? That's a guy right there. He's moving around.
Yeah.
He just went in the trunk, closed the trunk, goes back in the shop. What happens here? What's going on? What was in the trunk? Like, then people from over here. If you rewind it again, can you rewind it again? I want to show y'all another witness right here. These are all witnesses right here. All witnesses.
I don't understand as an investigator how you could watch this and be like, that it's an accident.
Sure.
Motherfucker, how far do you have to back up? That dude backed up a long way too, bro. Like, I'm thinking, if you're pulling out of a parking lot, why are you backing up so freaking?
The thing is, he was already in the truck when mom was walking over there, so he had to see her.
And they have a dock, and he was already in that truck.
I don't
when Mom
understand.
walked past him.
That is
All right, so
crazy.
they have a docking station. I believe that he was trying to back that truck up from over there all the way up to the other side of this pink shop to go to that docking station where they load and unload.
Yeah.
So,
Why? That was a long way to back up. He backed up a long
that
way.
was a long way to not be looking. To say that you couldn't see. Like, how.
And like you said, the speed was definitely there too, because that car that was coming by was, you can judge it how fast they were moving, and it was like he was
going faster than them.
Yeah. Man, so who? Nah, I'm not gonna throw it out there. I was thought I was gonna.
Yeah, so this is basically the scandal of the year. This is the scandal of decade. Like, and this is why people are talking. People want justice for Donna, and people want to know what's going on down there at the state attorney's office and the Bay County Police Department. Why the sheriff office hasn't taken over this matter. Like, who is this guy? They didn't do anything about this. This is insane. That's a 53-year-old lady. She's not a drug dealer. She's not. She's not.
Oh, it wouldn't matter if
criminal.
she's. It wouldn't matter.
I'm
if
just saying she's not a criminal.
Yeah, exactly.
She's
like,
not.
It doesn't matter if it didn't matter if this person was.
These days, it just makes it seem like that. Like, it's
that's
like
not cool.
She's not nobody but somebody's grandma. You know, like she's a pedestrian in the right of way.
I don't understand
Like-
how I don't understand how how a police officer is going to come to you and be like, "Hey, man, you just gotta." I mean, listen, I get it. They got a hard job, whatever. But the whole thing is, you don't go to somebody. Hey, man, come up here, look at the evidence. Everything's all good. There's no crime that's been committed here. And it's like, well, there might not be a crime, but I got questions. That dude backed up like how far? I want to see it because dude, that's what I'm saying.
It's
I'm
about
like,
20.
that's a long way to back
20
up.
feet just from there to there. And see, I went on my live and I said something about it. The very next day after I posted that man backed up over 20 feet, the police came out there the very next day with the measuring tape and measured from the
next day?
the very next day.
Oh, shit. All of a sudden, you guys want to do your job?
Now we can measure.
Dude, come on, man. You don't investigate something just because somebody throws something out on freaking social media. You're supposed to do your damn job, from the very get-go. But, yeah, well, this... I want to say, well, this is a training issue. Like, But you would think that something like a manslaughter case, something like a manslaughter investigation, you're going to send out a pretty decent investigator, someone who's seasoned, someone that has probably worked a few things in their career.
Yeah.
And I refuse to believe that a good cop, a good police officer wouldn't have done all of these things. But you're saying the next day you're going to come out and measure? You started off, you're going to talk about 25 feet, backing up, passing by another car that's coming in
Yeah.
or leaving. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, there's more to that.
And if you just pay attention to that parking lot, how small it is,
Yeah.
you see those cars like the one he almost backed into. Any one of those cars could have been possibly a customer pulling into that paint shop.
Yep.
And could have pulled in right behind him as he's reversing, because the parking spots are right there. So you got to use extreme caution when that is a high volume shopping plaza area. Now, at that time, it shows you that there was high volume. Even at that time, you could see this video. Let it play for 1 minute. See how many people come through there.
What time did it happen?
It happened around what? It
Oh,
it was like 10. No, it was
Oh.
10. I want to say no.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
So
around
yeah,
10:50.
around lunchtime.
Almost, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, it was heavy traffic in that time. Everybody knows this,
Yeah.
and it's a squeeze right there.
Yeah.
And this dude's been working at that paint shop for how long? Like, he's actually never been fired, even after this incident. The paint shop still has him working. He was working at the other location, working at that location the entire time. When we were at the vigil.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, he could be 100. Like, I will say this: he could be 100. It could have been 100% an accident. He wasn't under the influence of anything. But the thing about it is that doesn't mean that they shouldn't have investigated it to make sure of all of those things.
yeah, exactly. Then
So-
especially big time on the investigation.
This should have definitely seen
Big time on the
at least in
investigation.
front of an attorney. There should have at least been
A
went to
court
the
date.
Yeah, a court date.
There
Hey,
should have been a court date about this. There
Yeah.
shouldn't have been open and shut case. Like, that's what really brought so much attention to this case. If you really look at it, like, it's they completely tried to sweep it under the rug the first day.
Yeah, there are some things
Like
words
the
can't-
day of, like,
Yeah.
maybe if they would have tried to like sweep me and my mom and my brothers under the rug, like maybe 6 months down the line in a court date, like they made us lose the case or something, it wouldn't have been such a loud outpour for justice and like seeing a scandal. Like, people, like, everybody's looking like this shit's scandalous, and it drew so much attention to it. And that just shows you the arrogance, the pridefulness of, being able to know how to use the law, when you're in those positions. Like, that's like my main answer when answering these kind of things, because, it brings up so many questions. It's just everybody has questions. Everybody's outraged. Everybody's just blown away by like the lawlessness at this time. It's almost like dude ran over my mom during purge hours. He gets to kill my mother with all impunity and deem it an accident because he's a Christian. He wasn't looking in his mirrors. He didn't see it. He was, he couldn't have possibly seen it. He had all the blind spots in the world. It was the biggest mistake. He was never intentional. But let's be for real. And he's using God as a form of like, oh, he shouldn't be punished because he's a Christian. Like, and I'll be the first one to tell you, my mom is a God-fearing woman. She raised me to believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I got my tail whooped all the time for my mistakes. And I was accountable for many things that I did that wasn't, agreeable in the sight of the Lord. And so I don't hear that mess. That's not no reason to get away with your mistakes. People make mistakes all the time. They pay for it.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, who are you to just oops?
Yeah,
And,
the aspect of using Christianity to make things okay seems to be a trend And it's always funny to me because I get attacked on it too. Like I think everybody does. Like you'll come out and say, "Oh, I'm a Christian," and then it's like, "Oh, you say you're a Christian, but you do this, 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 this," and it's like, yeah, but I'll own it. I own what I do. I'll own what I say. And this right here, though, if you're gonna say that you're gonna own the mistake that you made, cool. Go before a judge. Go
exactly.
between a jury of your own peers and tell them.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. Sorries don't bring back my mom. Sorries don't, get you out of killing somebody. Whether or not you want to say it or not, you freaking killed somebody.
Yeah, and then to bring
So-
Jesus into it, the
Nah.
biggest redeemer of everybody's sins, the dude who actually got whipped for everyone else's sins. It's just blasphemy to me.
That's great. You'll have
That's
time.
blasphemy. That's blasphemy.
You will have time to talk to Jesus Christ about that in the afterlife, but you're in this life now. And
Exactly.
I got
And-
questions for you.
yeah,
So I don't care about your relationship with God or Jesus or whatever.
And-
You owe me answers on why you weren't freaking paying attention and ran over my mom. And you do need to go before a judge and a jury, and you need to explain your freaking case because as of right now, based on that freaking video evidence, dude, go find go take a long walk off a short pier because you sound like, no,
and it just seems
that's not cool.
It's just impossible. And I get so many. It's okay if I address some questions from like some of the my
Absolutely,
followers
man,
and
dude.
stuff like that.
This is your time.
Okay.
And if you ever want me
But
to,
like to
shut
answer
up, I'll do it.
to answer a lot of y'all's questions about like the lawyer situation and stuff, like we have an attorney now, and we've had an attorney for this entire time, and we are actually in the process of maybe seeking more legal help, but everyone who's saying, "Hey, get a lawyer, get a lawyer, get a lawyer," I just want y'all to know, when situations like this are going on, and the state attorney, because a lot of people don't understand what a state attorney is. All right, state attorney is the head executioner out here. Death dealer in real life. You ever had a playing card with the Reaper on it? That's state attorney. Our state attorney wears a suit. Their state attorney wears a cinth and a hood, a black hood. They read over the paper. They find you guilty, off with your head. This is what basically they do. They read over these incidences and then deem them, whether pursuing or not to pursue. So, the state attorney did not pick up charges at all. Seen this video, seen the evidence of any other videos that he had. He sat down with the Bay County Police Department, and they came to an agreement. He came to agreement to side with them in their investigation that this was a traffic incident and this was a civil infraction that needed to be warranted here. And I spoke to him personally, and we argued a little bit. We fussed a little bit, and like I told him, I said it would it would have been a mistake. It's a mistake, but this man crushed my mother. And he said, he told me there was no willful, wanton intent. He gave me case law. And that's what made me dig into case law. I had to, I was like, willful, wanton intent. What is that? So I was just trying to figure out what that was. So I looked it up, and it actually goes to case law that, could possibly, try to help someone in this position. But there's more case law against him than that little piece of case law that he had, And he told I bickered with him back and forth. He told me that it wasn't the truck, or it wasn't Joe Kelly that crushed my mother, that it was the truck.
You're operating the effing vehicle, dipshit.
Exactly, that's what I said.
Who said this to you?
Larry Bassford, state attorney of Panama City, Florida, 14 Judicial Court.
He said, wait a second. He said it wasn't the driver. This is a quote. Really? He said that?
This is quoted.
Man, fuck that noise.
This is quoted. This is his exact
Dude,
words to me.
No, dude. If that, dude.
And I said the exact same thing to you that you just said, and I had to
Oh.
hurry and get up off that phone because I already realized.
He said that to you over the phone.
Yeah, and I just realized what it was. When he said that, I was like, okay, so all right, it is what it is. So you signed with you basically sided with protecting this man from an obvious manslaughter. I mean, this man has seen so many manslaughters. He's the 14th Judicial District Attorney, state attorney, the lead, the head. Even though they really don't have a head, they're really like a three-headed monster, like four-headed beast type thing, like how they execute people for crimes and stuff out here on those platforms. But
I want to throw up.
he's the head honcho, definitely. Yeah. So but yeah, so I said this to tell the people out here. So if the state attorney does not pick up the case, you can call any lawyer in America and they're going to tell you the same thing that I'm about to tell you right now. I cannot help you.
Why? Wait, what do you mean?
I cannot help you is the words that I've been hearing. It's driving my brother absolutely insane because he keeps just trying to find more lawyers to everyone. Everybody's ready to take it civilly because it's warranted, but criminally it's not a case because state attorney didn't pick it up. The state attorney sees no crime, so there's no crime. But the world's crying out for justice because the world sees a crime right there. The world sees, and like he said, the world sees involuntary manslaughter. Hopefully, because let's just say that this police investigation would have went any further, and they would have looked in his phone and seen, oh, he was on the phone or he was doing that. Then what it would have been? We don't even know. Like we don't even know how far it could really be. Like where everybody, even including me, everybody's hoping that it was just an accident. But what if this wasn't an accident? What if he was really having a bad day and we in the midst of us all concerned about this story and it unfolds like that? What if that? Because honestly, the entire time I've been following my mother's story, it's been batshit crazy. And it's just one like jump off climax after another.
Like nobody is saying that this needs to be a criminal matter. It was just the fact that you don't. So let me get this straight. So I hope this makes it around to Larry Bassford. So I got a question for you, Larry. If I get out here in this fucking driveway and I back my car up and I run over a 5-year-old kid, you're gonna tell that family that my car killed their kid, not me? Does it make a difference on what the age is? Does it make a difference on what makes that difference? Like, because I thought we were supposed to be accountable for our own actions. You're operating a vehicle. It's very, very simple. Not too long ago, down south, I lived down in Tampa, and there was a dude that hit a dude. They got into an argument, and the dude hit the dude with his car. That was murder. They didn't say, well, he didn't murder the guy. The car murdered the guy. They said, no, you murdered somebody. So it's the same thing in a manslaughter case. That's the most ridiculous, most retarded thing I've ever heard somebody ever say. The law, they want to sit there and preach all the time about how, like, the law is supposed to be blind. Well, then let it be fucking blind, dude.
Let it be
because,
blind,
dude,
please.
you talk about, he said that, though.
Yeah, quote, word for word is what he said to me.
That is insane.
I ain't a man to put no words in another man's mouth.
Wow. Whoa, dude. That is just.
And I had a family member of mine. I was on speakerphone with him. So I had a family of mine that overheard it too. So I have a witness to what he said also. But,
that's crazy.
yeah, it's
okay. So no attorney will pick
that right there alone. Just imagine being. Just imagine this, bro.
Well,
that,
on top
that
of
right there threw my family like into a frenzy. Like just that alone just made it so hard for like my family to grieve and to mourn, because we trying our best to like just reach out every avenue, and it just seems like every avenue is on his side. and
I mean, I saw the video, man. I don't
except
need
for
to.
in the community. Like, it's only every avenue, like down at the courthouse, down at the police department, down at the sheriff's office, down at the lawyer's office. State attorneys all know him. Like, it's to the point, like, in the places that things are supposed to be getting done.
That is crazy.
But out in the community, and I can't. It's such a tragedy that, like, I can't go anywhere. I can't go anywhere without people noticing
Yeah.
me, or just knowing who I am. They're like, oh, that's him, that's Carson. Did you hear about what happened to his mother? Like, they're like, that bastard needs to fry for that. Like, that's what you hear out there. Like, he's trying to avoid accountability. He know he was dead ass wrong. Like, that's all I hear out here. People so just civil unrest with it. I'm the one gotta calm people down when we're out in public. And it happened to me.
Yeah.
It's my mother that was taken too soon, and that I have to live life without, and I'm sitting here trying to, just advocate for more peaceful measures, just in finding justice. And
53 years old is pretty young. You said she was 53, right?
Yeah, she was 53.
Yeah, man, that's young. You
She
still
was
have
53, thriving, dancing, walking. Like I said, her favorite thing to do was walk. She walked everywhere. Half the city knows her because of walking. The other half knows her because of working or maybe church. She was an avid member of the Board of Elections. She's been passing out ballots all year, this whole year, 3 months of this year. The only 3 months she got to have in this year, she passed out ballots the entire time. Just a good woman all the way around. Just a peaceful spirit. Just a loving goddess mother.
something that you were saying earlier. You kept saying was it the sheriff's department or was it the Panama City Police Department?
It was the Panama City Police Department that responded to this.
Man, dude, what can people do? Like, so, okay, do you have like a GoFundMe? Do you have anything like that? Trying to raise costs for an attorney or?
Honestly, after raising money for her burial and stuff, we just kind of like took a break from everything, from like just like the raising money part and stuff. Because my brothers were just, they were the ones dealing with there's a lot of like hateful people out there, that's all over the internet.
Oh,
talking.
yeah.
They like, oh, they just want money for this. They want to do this. They just hate when, good people are coming together and doing something. And, sometimes, we're not all built the same. We're not all able to deal with that the same. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was bothering my brothers a lot. And, you know what I'm saying? So they were just like, wanting to take a break from it and not have to look at social media and see the hateful things that this man's friends want to jump on there and say, because they make 1,000 fake pages and bot pages to come and chime in, like most of the people that don't that side or agree with this being a mistake are all mostly like really rich, well-off people that are hiding behind bot pages to say something. Like they don't even say something as themselves, you know what I mean? And if they do it on their little, their burner page, you know what I'm saying? And it just gets annoying for some people, blocking them and doing all that extra stuff. So it was just in our best interest to stop that. But I am thinking about starting a new GoFundMe to just raise money for this journey, to find her justice and like just be her voice and get everywhere out here, like these different podcasts and just helping other people advocate for pedestrian safety measures and stuff like that. Just anything that's gonna take us to that road, take us along that road of justice. So I've been thinking about it. So maybe even if I do so, I'll probably do everything by donation, and then people will just get memorabilia. So it'll still be just like something for something, because it's just hard to be, always reaching out for funds and stuff like that. And having my family worry about things like that, and what if it doesn't work out? Then they might have ill feelings. Like, hey, nobody cares, and that could get the emotions involved in just starting that GoFundMe. Like if you don't do well, like you feel like, oh, nobody cares, right? Because you posted it, everybody's seen it. You know what I'm saying? So it could be like a iffy thing. You know
I
what I'm
must
saying?
say this though, man. To be honest with you, with what you have gone through, I mean, dude, yeah, you are handling it. I mean, this was a while back. This was a month ago. So I'm sure you've had time to kind of cool and collect yourself. But man, dude, I wouldn't be.
If you mean
Dude,
if cool and collect
collected.
myself is
You're not screaming, and I would be screaming. I would be screaming still.
I've been crying my eyes
Yeah.
out, man. Like I'm like I tell people straight up, this is the hardest thing I ever faced in my life. Especially just advocating for my mom, but like I cry for my mom every night. Like, cried for the entire 19 days of the vigil. I probably was crying while I was talking to people, advocating for justice. You know what I'm saying? So I never let my cries stop me from doing what needs to be done for my mom, and just making sure that her spirit rests peacefully, and not in a scandalous way. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on right now, and I'll just do all that's in my power to make sure that this comes into fruition for her, and that she could just be in a state of peace.
Yeah, man. Well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm done asking questions. Dude, I see everything I need to see, and I talked about everything I needed to talk about. But the mic is open for you. Anything you want to say to close out? And
Was there any questions from your followers, or any questions I could answer?
I had those questions, man, but like, it's pretty freaking insane. I mean, it's kind of like
Just go, just random.
It was the same questions that the Bay County bad drivers had put out.
Yeah.
Those were the same questions I had. Why have these vital records not been publicly released? you know?
Yeah, they haven't been really. You. Yeah,
Where's the
that's-
body cam
that's a
footage to
good
the
one
cop
right there.
that showed up?
So in the report, we are getting the body cams, so we could follow this up one day.
So there are body cam footage.
Yeah, because we put in for them. So
But don't you think that stuff should have been
Yeah, well, I
monitored
honestly feel
before they
like-
made
Nah,
the
I feel-
decisions that they made?
I feel like since everything was working through my lawyer, like my brother was kind of expecting the lawyer to say something to him about it, but when the police report came in about like 10, 11 days later, with the condolences came not over 9-10 days later. In the report, it says that that there's body cam footage available, so we're trying to get that footage ready for everyone and stuff. And
Yeah, you pretty much answered all the questions that I had just through
I did. Good.
conversation. I mean, it's like, why hasn't this case reflected the gravity of loss, of life taken? I mean, listen, here's the crazy thing about this. You don't have to ask a lot of questions because you had a video footage of what
Exactly.
the hell happened.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of like you sit there and you
what
watch
do you need
that,
me for?
and then
Like,
it's just kind of
what
like, it's
do-
like,
they don't need me. Like
dude backed up 25
I am my
feet, ran
mother's
over
advocate,
somebody.
but like nobody needs me. It's
yeah.
plain to see, and I just thank God that he gave me and my family grace enough to be able to come upon this video, because this video didn't come from there, it came from across the street.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing that we were able to have that footage, because not many people that go through things like this have any footage to prove anything. So imagine if this footage wasn't there, right? I'm not here. If this footage isn't here, I don't make it here.
Well, it's kind of like what we were saying earlier, right? Like you said, the 20 some odd feet, and then the cops went out there and measured the next day. So here's the deal. If this would have been the 1990s or even the early 2000s or, 1980s, we didn't have social media. So something like this would be swept under the rug.
Exactly.
that because we got social media now and people are like, oh man, this might be a big deal.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go
Yeah.
do our job.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, maybe you should go do your freaking job
Yeah,
because
you really
there
should
are
go.
eyes everywhere. Right now, if you go anywhere and you think you're not being recorded, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
There's a
exactly.
camera everywhere.
Yeah, and that and it's just it's the irony is in it is the most times the cameras are there for me and you. It's not there to show that they're doing wrong. They're making mistakes. So these cameras are starting to become a burden to even them.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. They don't even want you to have security cameras because they trying to pull a fast one on you.
Yeah.
So it comes down to it, just thankful that I had an eye in the sky, just to be able to, be mom's voice in a even more powerful way and just carry her story further and further and further, so that she could get all the help that she needs to bring justice. And my following is just a group of angels and prayer warriors that really have compassion for others and either knew my mom and loved her and got to experience life with her and just have such positive effects on them. And so they pray a lot, so I believe in the power of prayer, and I just feel like it's really going to work. And mom will get justice. There will be justice for Donna. And it might take us a little while to get there. It might take some more prayer and it take some more boots on the ground to see to it that the right doors are knocked on and turned, knobs are turned, and we got to cross all our I's and dot our T's in this situation and be patient and let things work out.